A few years ago, I read Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich. You can find a link to my favorite 20 personal finance books in the video description below. And in fact, this was one of the top 5. I also did a video review, which I'll link at the end of this video. So it's pretty cool to see that a few years later, he now has a show on Netflix called How to Get Rich. I Will Teach You to Be Rich was a 6-week program and a great read that I do recommend that teaches you, as the book implies, how to get rich. If you're following along as well, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about episode 1. I'm a little bit behind and spoilers are fine. For those of you that are unfamiliar, How to Get Rich features financial expert Ramit Sethi, a variety of people, including a woman that admits that she spends $500,000 a year on shopping, a couple involved in MLMs because why wouldn't they be, and then someone who has a checking account for his dog, but not a 401k, and much more. Ramit helps these individuals with their money and helps their lives get figured out. First up, we're introduced to a couple, Matthew and Armani. Kind of my first impressions here. First of all, I thought there was going to be lots of crying. I took some notes and it literally says lots of crying, but there wasn't any crying in the first episode. It was just crying in the preview leading up to the episode. So I guess I'll see that later on. Ramit goes over his 6 weeks of analysis and his 6-week plan for I Will Teach You to Get Rich. And he says, no matter what you earn, you can live a rich life. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. We're first introduced to Matthew and Amani, a little bit of tea about them. Like I said, Matthew works from home. Amani is the primary breadwinner. Matthew was a former electrical engineer. He is now a stay-at-home dad. We don't, or at least I didn't get the gross income. If y'all got it, drop it in the comments. I'll get it in the next video. But we do see that they're doing pretty well on paper. $24,000 in their checking account. $24,000 a month comes into their checking account. They have $94,000 in their 401k. Ramit calls this aggressive because 80% of this is in stock. But despite all this, Armani runs all of the money and makes all the money decisions, allegedly according to Matthew. And he says, quote, the more money she makes, the less valuable I am as a man. Each couple is given a homework assignment, but Matthew and Amani don't even finish their homework assignment. They were supposed to talk about money, and the episode ends with them arguing about money, and episode 2 starts with them arguing about money. They never even finished the homework assignment, so we don't know what their rich life is. But we're also introduced to Donnell and Monique. A little bit of the tea on Donnell and Monique. They make $93,000 a year gross. They want to buy a home. They've been married 17 years. We have a little bit more background information about them. One of them is 40 and one of them is 37. I think Donnell is 40. I think Monique is 37. That wasn't really clear to me in the episode. A couple of the red flags that I saw with Donnell and Monique, they have 20 separate checking accounts, so they don't have joint accounts. And between the two of them, each of them have 10 accounts. And Donnell's credit score is 409. So for those of you who are unaware, credit scores rank from 300 to 850. Anything above 670 is good. Anything above 740 is good to great. If you want a little bit more information about that, you can check out my book, Debt Free or Die Trying, and I'll get a link in the video description below. Some more tea about Donnell and Monique that we learned in this episode is that Donnell has $1,500 saved, $1,000 in stocks, $500 in savings. Monique has $123,000 in debt and collections, although she just bought a $1,000 purse, which actually Ramit is pretty generous about. He's like, one of his practices from his book is to live your own rich life. So if you want a purse, buy the purse as long as you can afford it and cut mercilessly where you don't. Donnell has $71,000 in debt, so combined, this couple has nearly $200,000 in debt that they'll need to overcome either as a part of or when they want to reach this goal of buying a home. Ramit actually says that buying a home, that in this case, buying a home is like this American dream, this American obsession, but he said that renting can actually be more beneficial to some couples than buying a home. So those are the red flags. With some of the positives is they have been married 17 years. They have 3 kids and they're able to talk about money. They seem to have productive conversations about money, even though up to the show, they did not talk about money, and they have these 20 checking accounts. So I hope they unpack that over the next few episodes. And their homework assignments for their rich life is to define what is your money philosophy.